The rift between the US and Ukrainian presidents has grown again, 3 days after their extraordinary showdown at the White House. Donald Trump has hit out at Volodymyr Zelenskyy for suggesting it'll take a long time to end Russia's war.
An agreement to end the war is still very, very far away, and no one has started all these steps yet. The peace that we foresee in the future must be just, honest, and most importantly, sustainable.
He thinks the war's going to go on for a long time, and he better not be right about that. He should be more appreciative because this country has stuck with them through thick and thin. We've given them much more than Europe, and Europe should have given more than us, because as you know, that's right there, that's the border. The deal can be made very fast. It should not be that hard a deal to make. It can be made very fast. Now, maybe somebody doesn't want to make a deal, and if somebody doesn't want to make a deal, I think that person won't be around very long. That person will not be listened to very long, because I believe that Russia wants to make a deal. I believe certainly the people of Ukraine want to make a deal.
President Zelenskyy travelled to Washington late last week to discuss a path to peace. He was there to sign a deal giving the US access to Kyiv's critical minerals. That went sideways when the US President and Vice President told the Ukrainian leader he wasn't being grateful for the support the US had given Ukraine during the long-running war.
You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards, but without us, you don't have any cards.
Washington has pushed back against security guarantees for Ukraine, instead saying having the US there working in the nation's mining sector would prevent future Russian aggression. President Trump says he will give an update on the Ukrainian minerals deal tomorrow. With future US support uncertain, Kyiv's European allies continue to rally behind the country. The UK and France are willing to send in peacekeepers through a coalition of the willing, but they say there must be a backstop from the United States.
The mineral deal is not enough on its own. Russia is the aggressor. Yeah. Zelenskyy is a war leader whose country has been invaded. Yeah. And we should all be supporting him and not fawning over Putin.
On the ground in Ukraine, rescuers continue to respond to Russian attacks. This time a drone hit an apartment building in Ukraine's second largest city, Kharkiv. Residents doubt a ceasefire will ever happen.
I have glass shards in my hair. I was next to the window, and then an explosion wave hit. There was a lot of blood. I do not believe in ceasefire talk. They call Ukraine guilty? What is it guilty of? How is it guilty? How can it be guilty if this monster attacked? He cannot be called a human being.
Throughout the US election campaign, Donald Trump promised to quickly end the war in Ukraine. His administration has opened direct dialogue with the Kremlin, holding talks with Vladimir Putin's officials without Kyiv represented. It's also sided with Moscow at the United Nations and is considering easing sanctions on the country to improve diplomatic and economic relations.
President Trump's idea that there's going to be all this American investment in Russia and the economic relationship will flourish, and really having a seat at the table of the great powers again, ending the West's isolation of Russia. That's what Putin's interest is. He is not interested in ending the war. He thinks Russia is winning, and he thinks that as time goes on, the West will be more fractured. Clearly, we've had a major US-European break on all of this, something that I think the Russians in their wildest hopes wouldn't have dreamt of before.